What if the color of your front door could silently influence the energy entering your home every single day? Ancient spiritual teachings say your front door is not just an entrance, it's a gateway where opportunity, wealth protection, and blessings either flow in or get blocked. In 2026, as energies shift and people search for stability and abundance, one specific color is believed to align your home with prosperity, harmony, and spiritual protection. The question is your front door attracting blessings or pushing them away? The entrance of a home has always carried deeper meaning than most people realize. Across many ancient traditions, the front door was never seen as just a physical entry point. It was understood as the place where outside energy first meets the private world inside. Every opportunity, every visitor, every moment of change symbolically passes through this space. Because of this, the condition, direction, and especially the color of the front entrance were believed to influence the flow of energy entering daily life. When the entrance feels welcoming, balanced, and alive, it sends a silent signal of openness, not only to people, but to possibilities. When it feels neglected or heavy, it can unconsciously create resistance, making progress feel slower and opportunities harder to recognize. Think about the experience of approaching a home. Before anyone steps inside, the front entrance creates the first emotional impression. It communicates safety or discomfort, warmth or distance, harmony or tension. Ancient teachings recognized that human beings are deeply sensitive to visual and emotional cues, even when they are not consciously aware of them. A front door that feels aligned and intentional creates a sense of stability. This stability influences the mindset of the people living inside, encouraging calm decision-making and confidence. Over time, this inner state affects how people handle money, relationships, and opportunities. In this way, the entrance becomes more than decoration. It becomes a psychological and symbolic gateway. In many spiritual systems, energy is described as constantly moving. It flows toward spaces that appear open and maintained, and it avoids spaces that feel blocked or chaotic. The front door represents the main opening through which this movement occurs. When the entrance is clear, clean, and visually balanced, it encourages a feeling of forward motion. People living in such environments often feel more motivated and receptive to change. On the other hand, when the entrance appears dull, damaged, or emotionally heavy, it can reinforce feelings of stagnation. Without realizing it, people may begin to expect fewer positive outcomes, and this expectation subtly shapes their actions. Color plays a central role in this process because color communicates instantly to the human mind. Long before words or logic are involved, color creates emotional reactions. This is why certain places feel peaceful while others feel energizing or stressful. The color of a front door becomes especially powerful because it marks the transition between the outside world and personal space. It acts as a visual statement of what the household welcomes. A carefully chosen color can symbolize growth, protection, or renewal, while an unconsidered choice may unintentionally reflect exhaustion or imbalance. From a psychological perspective, color influences behavior in subtle but measurable ways. Warm tones can stimulate activity and confidence, while cooler or natural tones tend to calm the mind and create feelings of security. When someone repeatedly enters a home through a door that evokes calm strength or optimism, that emotional association strengthens over time. The mind begins to link the home with safety and possibility. This sense of internal security often leads to clearer thinking and better decision-making, which can indirectly influence financial and personal success. In this sense, the energy of color is not mystical alone. It works through emotional conditioning and perception. Ancient teachings also emphasized that color affects not only the residents, but everyone who approaches the home. Visitors, neighbors, and even passers-by respond unconsciously to visual signals. A welcoming entrance encourages positive interaction and connection. Positive interactions, in turn, expand networks, opportunities, and goodwill. Over time, these small effects accumulate, shaping the social and emotional environment around the household. The front door becomes a silent communicator, expressing openness, confidence, and stability without a single word being spoken. Another important idea found in traditional wisdom is that harmony at the entrance creates harmony within. When the outer threshold feels balanced, it sets the tone for the entire living space. People often underestimate how much their surroundings influence their internal state. A chaotic or neglected entrance can create subtle tension each time someone leaves or returns home. Conversely, a harmonious entrance creates a small moment of ease every day. These repeated moments of ease reduce stress and support emotional clarity. When stress decreases, people make more thoughtful choices, avoid unnecessary conflict, and recognize opportunities more easily. Color also carries symbolic meaning shaped by culture and nature. Certain colors are associated with life, growth, and renewal because they reflect natural cycles seen in the world around us. Others are associated with strength, grounding, or protection. When these symbolic meanings are applied to a front entrance, they reinforce intention. The home begins to reflect the values and direction of the people living inside. This alignment between environment and intention creates a powerful psychological effect. People feel more in control of their surroundings, and this sense of control strengthens motivation and resilience. It is also important to understand that the effect of color is amplified by consistency. A front door that feels intentional usually exists within an entrance that is cared for. Clean surroundings, good lighting, and a sense of order enhance the emotional message being sent. Ancient traditions often stressed that energy follows attention. When attention is given to the entrance, it symbolizes readiness to receive new experiences. This readiness changes how individuals approach life itself. They become more alert to possibilities and more willing to take positive action. Modern life often moves quickly, leaving little time to reflect on how small environmental details influence mindset. Yet the entrance of a home is encountered every single day. It becomes part of daily ritual, leaving to face the world and returning to rest and restore. Because this moment repeats so often, even small emotional signals become powerful over time. A front door that represents welcome and balance gradually reshapes how home is experienced. Instead of being just a place to sleep, it becomes a source of renewal and strength throughout history. Certain colors have been closely connected with the idea of growth, prosperity, and expansion. These associations did not appear randomly. They emerged from observing nature itself. In the natural world, growth is always connected to renewal, movement, and life force. When people saw fields turning green after rain or trees returning to life after long seasons of stillness, they began to associate these colors with abundance and continuous increase. Over time, this symbolism entered spiritual teachings, architecture, and daily living, shaping how environments were designed to encourage progress and well-being. When applied to the entrance of a home, a color associated with growth carries a powerful psychological message. Every time someone approaches or leaves through that doorway, they are subtly reminded of movement and possibility rather than limitation. The human mind responds strongly to visual repetition. Seeing a color linked with renewal can influence mood and expectation, encouraging optimism and forward thinking. Optimistic thinking often leads to more confident decisions, and confident decisions naturally open doors to opportunity. In this way, the symbolism of color gradually transforms into practical impact. Prosperity, in many traditional teachings, was never viewed as money alone. It was understood as a state of flow where effort, opportunity, relationships, and timing work together smoothly. A home that visually reflects growth and openness reinforces this idea of flow. Residents begin to feel less stuck and more willing to pursue change. Even small shifts in mindset can create noticeable results over time. Someone who feels supported by their environment is more likely to take initiative, recognize opportunities, and maintain patience during challenges. These qualities are often the true foundation of long-term success. Another important aspect of colors connected with expansion is their ability to create balance between energy and calmness. Excessively stimulating colors may create excitement, but can also lead to restlessness or impulsive decisions. In contrast, tones associated with natural growth tend to calm the nervous system while still encouraging motivation. This balance is essential. Sustainable prosperity requires clarity and consistency, not constant urgency. When the entrance of a home reflects calm growth rather than pressure, it encourages thoughtful action instead of reaction. There is also a social dimension to this symbolism. Visitors and neighbors form impressions before entering a home, often within seconds. A front entrance that reflects vitality and care communicates stability and positivity. People naturally feel more comfortable engaging with environments that appear alive and well-maintained. Over time, this can influence relationships and interactions in subtle ways. Positive interactions often lead to collaboration, support, and shared opportunities. While this process may seem indirect, its long-term effect can be significant. Ancient wisdom often emphasized that abundance grows where energy feels welcome. A front door color symbolizing expansion acts as an invitation rather than a barrier. It suggests openness to new experiences, new connections, and new ideas. When individuals live in spaces that visually affirm growth, they become more receptive to change instead of resisting it. Resistance often blocks progress, while openness allows improvement to occur naturally. The entrance becomes a daily reminder that growth is ongoing, not something limited to certain moments or achievements. At the same time, traditional teachings always paired the idea of growth with protection. Expansion without protection can lead to instability. Just as a growing plant needs both sunlight and shelter, a household requires both openness and security. This is where the protective aspect of entrance symbolism becomes important. The front door was historically seen as a boundary, a place where positive energy is welcomed and harmful influence is stopped. The color and condition of this boundary were believed to strengthen that sense of safety. Protection, in this context, is not only physical but emotional and psychological. Homes absorb the emotional states of those who live within them. Stress, conflict, and outside pressure can accumulate if there is no sense of separation between the external world and personal space. A well-considered entrance creates a transition point. As people step inside, they mentally leave behind external tension and enter a place of restoration. This transition becomes stronger when the entrance visually communicates strength and stability. Colors associated with protection often carry a grounding quality. They create a feeling of solidity, as if the home itself stands firmly against outside negativity. This perception matters because feeling safe allows individuals to relax and recover. When people feel protected, their minds function. As we step into 2026, the energies that influence daily life are shifting in profound ways. People are searching for stability, balance, and long-term growth more than ever before. In this context, certain colors, especially natural and grounded tones, carry a special significance. These shades are more than just aesthetic choices, they act as energetic anchors, harmonizing the environment with the rhythms of nature and creating a space where both opportunity and protection can coexist. Natural colors, like earthy browns, soft beiges, muted greens, and warm clay tones, resonate with the life force of the planet itself. They mirror the cycles of growth, stability, and renewal that exist in the natural world, reminding the mind of continuity and resilience. Choosing grounded tones for the entrance of a home is not simply about fashion or trend. These colors create an immediate sense of balance and calm. In an era where external chaos and uncertainty are common, a front door painted in a stable, harmonious shade communicates a subtle message to the mind. This is a place where energy can flow safely. The moment someone steps through such an entrance, they are subconsciously reassured. They feel more confident, more centered, and more capable of handling the challenges of life. Over time, this repeated exposure reinforces a mindset that is aligned with stability and growth, both of which are essential for attracting prosperity and protection. Grounded colors also work on a subconscious level to reduce stress and create emotional equilibrium. Humans respond instinctively to the visual environment around them. When a front door is painted in harsh, overly bright, or chaotic shades, it can create tension or unease, even if the observer is not consciously aware of it. Conversely, a door in a natural, earthy tone signals safety, reliability, and endurance. It tells both residents and visitors that this is a space where energy is balanced and intentional. In effect, the color becomes a silent guide, shaping emotions and reinforcing a sense of security every time the threshold is crossed. While grounded colors harmonize the energy entering a home, it is equally important to recognize the colors that can unintentionally block blessings. Mistakes in choosing front door colors are more common than many realize, and the impact of these choices can be subtle yet profound. Extremely dark shades, such as overly black or deep gray tones, can symbolize stagnation or heaviness when used as the primary entrance color. While these tones can be protective in small accents, when applied to a main entrance, they can create a subconscious signal of obstruction rather than welcome. The mind associates these colors with weight, difficulty, or emotional rigidity, which can affect the energy and decisions of those living inside. Similarly, doors painted in overly chaotic or mismatched colors may create confusion rather than clarity. Bright, clashing colors might grab attention, but they often disrupt harmony. They can create mental tension that subtly discourages calm decision-making and long-term planning. The home becomes a space that unintentionally reinforces impatience or instability, even if the rest of the house is carefully curated. The entrance is the first point of contact for energy, and disharmony at this threshold can diminish the overall sense of alignment. Ancient traditions understood this intuitively. The entrance is the first impression not just for visitors, but for the universe itself. Energy moves in patterns, seeking openness and coherence. A chaotic entrance may subconsciously repel opportunity or delay progress. Faded or neglected colors also fall into this category of unintentional blockage. Over time, paint loses its vibrancy, peeling or weathering in ways that signal neglect. This visual decay does more than affect curb appeal. It communicates a lack of attention to the flow of energy in and out of the home. The mind reacts to these cues, reinforcing subtle feelings of stagnation or missed opportunity. A dull, tired front door can become a metaphor for the energy inside the household, creating invisible barriers to growth, prosperity, and protection. Beyond the visual and symbolic impact, these choices influence emotional behavior in daily life. Residents entering through a door that feels heavy, chaotic, or neglected may unconsciously carry tension, frustration, or doubt into the home. These emotional states, repeated day after day, can accumulate and affect decision-making, relationships, and overall well-being. On the other hand, a door that is well-chosen, well-maintained, and visually aligned with natural energies encourages optimism, clarity, and patience. These qualities attract opportunity naturally because they are mirrored in actions and interactions. Attention to entrance color is also about intention. When a color is chosen thoughtfully, with the understanding of its energy and symbolism, it amplifies its effect. It's not merely an aesthetic decision. It is a conscious act of aligning the home with positive forces. Intention is the amplifier of energy. A door painted in a natural, grounded shade sends a subtle yet powerful signal. This is a space that welcomes abundance, shields against negativity, and nurtures growth. Every day, residents are reminded of this alignment, strengthening both mindset and environment. Moreover, the influence of entrance color interacts with other elements of the doorway. Light, cleanliness, and surrounding landscaping work in harmony with color to either enhance or diminish its effect. For example, a natural tone that is complemented by soft lighting and greenery magnifies feelings of openness and welcome. Conversely, even the most thoughtfully chosen color can lose impact if the entrance is cluttered, poorly lit, or in disrepair. Harmony is not created by a single element alone. It is the combination of color, condition, and context that generates a space capable of attracting blessings and protection. The lessons of 2026 show that energy alignment is particularly important in uncertain times. People are navigating rapidly changing circumstances in work, relationships, and health. Stability and groundedness become essential anchors for navigating these shifts. A front door painted in natural, harmonious tones provides a visual and symbolic anchor. It signals that while change is constant, the home remains a place of balance and opportunity. This silent messaging affects both residents and visitors, subtly shaping interactions, emotions, and decisions in ways that support long-term prosperity and protection. Another consideration is that the front door sets the tone for the entire household. A home where the entrance communicates welcome, balance, and security fosters a sense of coherence inside. Every step into the home reinforces the message of safety, abundance, and growth. Over time, this repeated reinforcement becomes internalized. Residents begin to move through life with a stronger sense of confidence, purpose, and openness to new experiences. The door's color, condition, and intention create a daily practice of alignment that influences every area of life, from finances to relationships to personal well-being. Ultimately, choosing the right front door color is both a spiritual and practical decision. It requires awareness, intentionality, and attention to detail. Grounded, natural tones harmonize with the energies of 2026, creating a space where opportunities can enter, protection is naturally reinforced, and blessings are multiplied. Conversely, colors that are too dark, chaotic, or neglected risk creating subtle blocks that limit flow and growth. When combined with conscious maintenance, good lighting, and surrounding harmony, the right color transforms the entrance into more than just a door. It becomes a powerful symbol of alignment with the forces of stability, prosperity, and protection. By understanding the interplay between color, energy, and intention, anyone can transform their entrance from a simple functional element into a gateway of abundance. The doorway becomes a tool for psychological reinforcement, a visual anchor of stability, and a subtle but powerful way to shape the energy of life itself. In essence, every time someone passes through the entrance, they are reminded of balance, opportunity, and security. The simple act of choosing the right color, maintaining it, and combining it with a harmonious environment becomes a daily ritual of attracting what the household needs: growth, protection, and blessings. The energy of a home is not created solely by its architecture or furnishings. It is shaped by the intention that flows through it. Among the most influential aspects of intention is the front door, the very threshold that separates the outside world from the private, personal space within. Choosing a color for the entrance is only part of the process. The deeper effect comes when this choice is made consciously, with clear intention and purpose. A door that reflects thoughtful intention acts as a magnet, aligning both visible and invisible energies to support the household. When intention meets color, the entrance transforms from a mere functional element into a powerful tool that guides the flow of life. Intentionality amplifies the impact of energy in ways that are often subtle yet profound. A color chosen purely for aesthetics may look beautiful, but without conscious alignment, it cannot fully harness the potential of energy flow. When intention is applied, the same color begins to communicate purpose, direction, and openness. It signals readiness to receive opportunities, abundance, and blessings. Each time someone crosses the threshold, they are reminded of this alignment, reinforcing both subconscious and conscious awareness of what the home stands for. Over time, this repeated reinforcement strengthens habits, mindset, and decision-making, creating a foundation for personal and collective growth. Intentionality also affects the way energy interacts with the people who enter the home. Visitors sense subtle cues from the entrance, and when it is approached with purpose, it communicates welcome, safety, and respect. This effect is amplified when the color and surrounding elements are chosen in harmony with natural energies. Every detail, from the choice of the doormat to the lighting, reinforces the intention. When these elements work together, the front door becomes a conduit for positive energy, influencing the atmosphere inside the home and shaping the interactions that take place there. In essence, the threshold becomes a silent ambassador of the household's values and vibrational energy. Beyond symbolism, the practical impact of intention is measurable in everyday life. When individuals consciously set the tone for the entrance, they become more attuned to their own habits and behaviors. They notice opportunities that might otherwise pass unnoticed and approach challenges with a clearer, more balanced mindset. This heightened awareness often leads to decisions that are both prudent and forward-looking. Over time, the consistent reinforcement of intention at the entrance subtly shapes the environment of the home, creating a self-sustaining cycle of positive energy, clarity, and growth. Yet intention alone is not enough. The energy of the entrance is magnified when combined with external elements that support and enhance it. A clean, well-maintained doorway communicates care and attentiveness, reinforcing the message of readiness to receive. Proper lighting ensures that the entrance remains inviting at all times, extending the energy of warmth and welcome even after sunset. Elements such as plants, decorative accents, and harmoniously aligned textures can further amplify the sense of vitality and abundance. Together, these components transform the doorway into more than a point of entry. They make it a focal point of energy alignment, capable of attracting opportunities, positivity, and protection in ways that ripple throughout the home. This principle leads naturally to the idea of creating a welcoming entrance that multiplies positive energy. A home that is visibly cared for sends a signal not only to those approaching, but to the household itself. The space is respected. The environment is intentional, and life flows with purpose. A welcoming entrance establishes a rhythm of positivity, setting the tone for daily routines. Every arrival home becomes a reminder of balance, security, and potential. Every departure carries that same energy outward, subtly influencing interactions with the broader world. Over time, the doorway functions as both a psychological anchor and an energetic amplifier, reinforcing the ideals of growth, protection, and abundance. The subtlety of this influence cannot be overstated. Unlike overt actions or material possessions, the energy of a doorway works quietly, shaping moods, perceptions, and decisions from the moment someone approaches. Visitors feel it immediately, whether through the color, the cleanliness, or the harmony of the surrounding elements. Residents experience it repeatedly, often without conscious recognition, as the doorway conditions the mind to expect balance, clarity, and opportunity. These small, repeated interactions accumulate, creating long-term shifts in mindset and behavior that influence financial, emotional, and social outcomes. In this way, a carefully designed entrance becomes an ongoing source of empowerment and alignment. A welcoming entrance also serves as a shield, protecting the household from discordant or negative energies. Just as the threshold invites positivity, it simultaneously establishes boundaries, preventing unwanted influences from penetrating the home. Symbolic and practical elements of design, such as color, condition, and cleanliness, combine to create this protective function. When energy flows smoothly and harmoniously at the entrance, it is easier to maintain calm, clarity, and emotional stability within. The home becomes a sanctuary, a space where growth, creativity, and abundance can flourish without unnecessary interference or disruption. In essence, the entrance works as both a magnet and a filter, enhancing what is beneficial while minimizing what is harmful. Importantly, the multiplication of positive energy through a welcoming entrance extends beyond the home itself. Guests and visitors carry this energy outward, influencing their own interactions and decisions. Social and professional networks can be strengthened simply through the impression created at the front door. When an entrance communicates intentionality, harmony, and welcome, it reflects a mindset of alignment and abundance. The energy is not contained. It flows outward, attracting opportunities and reinforcing positive cycles in the larger environment. In this way, a well-designed entrance can have effects far beyond the immediate household, touching the wider community in subtle but meaningful